You want to know how bad college has become? One school regarded as the tops in journalism is saying they'll no longer report on the news if it upsets activists. The Daily Northwestern, the student paper for Northwestern, published a hilariously pathetic apology to activists after covering a speech on campus by Jeff Sessions. Activists felt the event shouldn't be covered because they prefer that their opinions only be heard. The cowardly paper caved like a cheap tent, apologizing for sending a reporter to cover the event, and vowed pathetically that from now on they'll only cover stuff that doesn't hurt their feelings. Think about that. A newspaper apologizing for reporting the news. That's like a dentist apologizing for filling a cavity, or me for filling you with such great knowledge. It's another example of how the lunatic fringe has silenced dialogue by smearing it as hateful or harmful. Mind you, the loudest, worst kinds of expression, sometimes even violent, comes from these wimpy twerps. Yet they don't see their psychic violence as harming other people. Why is that? It's college, a corpse rotting from within. And so while the paper pretends to cover news, it'll be the news that the activists approve of, meaning the paper's editors, they just quit their jobs and handed it over to the activists, which may be why real journalism is dying. Now that's a stressful news story, which will probably go unreported too. Dana, this is disgusting but not surprising.
I was thinking that, like, you've come to just expect it.
Yeah.
From all across the board. From, like, and Northwestern, I would have loved to have gone into Northwestern.
Yes.
Journalism school.
Where is it?
It's in Chicago. Chicago.
They should be more specific about the title then. Northwestern is too vague.
I think that's the area of the city, right, Juan?
Yeah, actually, it's right outside in the suburbs, yeah.
I'm already against it then, Juan.
Okay.
Just by the name. Just by the... What do you are a journalist. You've been writing books forever. You work for the Washington Post. You've been every... This has got to get under your skin a little bit.
Oh, yeah. I wrote a book about this several years ago called Muzzle, the Assault on Honest Debate. And I think this is an assault on honest debate. So, you know, but I just wanted to... The audience, everybody should know, I mean, part of this is about immigration and about people who are undocumented or illegal aliens protesting and then saying, oh, my picture's in the paper... Why? Then ICE is going to call and throw me out.
That's on them for being dumb enough to get their picture taken.
Or in the case of like Harvard, where Harvard got into this situation as well, they were saying, why are you calling ICE? Why do you get involved with this organization that wants to deport my grandma or is busting into somebody's business to throw people in jail? But at that point, that's why you get, like, the news today from Harvard was that the student government at Harvard sided with the protesters against the newspaper. Yeah. And they're saying that, well, I can see that's a public political expression of support, like the Catholic Church supporting sanctuary cities. But that's not journalism. No. The journalism is to tell the story, call people on both sides, and get it out there.
That's the point, too, Katie, is that they didn't like being called. So how does a reporter do his job if you can't call people for quotes?
Well, look, you don't have to answer the phone. You're not obligated to talk to reporters, but they can call you if your number is in the public record. The most alarming part of this editorial to me is when they say, while our goal is to document history and spread information, nothing is more important than ensuring that our fellow students feel safe.
That's what they say in China. That's
right.
literally what they say in China. Like, we can't talk about anything that makes us uncomfortable. You can't cover Hong Kong protests if you're living in China because that might disrupt your safe little world that we've created for you.
Right, and it might make you question why things are the way that they are. And I want to applaud the dean for defending the journalists for the original story that they produced, because a lot of the time these university administrators do the opposite, and they coddle them, they take challenges away, and that doesn't help them when they get out into the real world. But the people who wrote this editorial are probably going to try and get jobs in newsrooms once they get out of college, and that's the state of media today.
I mean, I think this editor's probably already been hired by CNN.
Yes, that's true.
They're looking for someone with experience in retractions and spiking stories. What I don't understand about this is Jeff Sessions is traumatizing.
Yes.
He's like 5'1", doesn't have a job. All right? It's not like Jeff Sessions is 9/11. You don't get traumatized by Jeff Sessions. The only person actually traumatized by Sessions is Trump.
Yeah.
He hates him.
Yes.
He should have recused. If he'd only gotten recused, we wouldn't have the witch hunt. But I do understand the students' anxiety about getting a phone call. If you're in like 18, 19 and your phone rings, that is terrifying. No one calls you at that age. That means it's either your parents or a bill collector. So if you're, people DM at that age. That could be scary.
Yeah, I didn't see that angle coming.
Yeah.
Jesse,
I have all the angles correct.
You know what the kids are thinking.
That's right.